Ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, my name is Raven and welcome back to my channel. And welcome to video 2 of 3 where I'm going to be talking about the brand new heroes that I want to see enter the game in year 2 of For Honor. I already did one on the Knights that is already on the channel. I'll leave a link down below if you want to check it out. But today we're going to be talking about the Vikings and then we're going to be doing the Samurai. Roll disclaimer. So first of all, everything I'm saying in this video is just my opinions, okay? I don't have any hard facts of any characters that are coming out. These are just the heroes that I want to see introduced into the game in year 2 of For Honor, because we know we're getting brand new heroes. We know year 2 is going to be a thing. So this is some of the shit that I would like to see. Secondly, I do have some pictures to give you guys a visual sense of what's going on. I have in my head what I want, like armor wise, weapon wise and stuff. But please keep in mind, the pictures are just so you have something to get a general picture of what I'm talking about. I'm not an artist. I don't have any concept art on what exactly I want. So I just found stuff that was pretty damn close. And lastly, I have some ideas of how I want these characters to play, but don't go talking about balance, okay? Yes, some things I say might be completely overpowered, they might be underpowered, whatever. We're not here to talk about balance, we're here just to talk about some really cool ideas on some heroes we can get, the balancing and everything that comes, once everything's locked in and you know exactly what's happening and you're able to test it all. So if something sounds overpowered, just ignore it and have some fun with the video, speculation, that whole thing, okay? Everything can be tuned later, keep that in mind if this ever becomes a thing. I have no idea. But like anything, these are just some of the heroes that I want to see come into the game. Of course, you guys might like them, they might be the ones you're thinking of. You might have completely different heroes with different armor and moves or whatever that you want to see in the game. Make sure you let me know in the comments down below, because I'd love to hear what characters you are looking forward to in year 2 of For Honor. So with all of that said, let's get into it, shall we? Starting off with the Frostborn. Now when it comes to the Vikings, they have a big guy, Riva. Okay, he's pretty big, he's pretty beefy, but he's nothing like the Frostborn. I want a massive fucking hulking Viking guy to rock onto the battlefield. Now the Frostborn, of course, is going to be a heavy, and if you see my Knight video, sort of like the Juggernaut, he's going to carry a big massive two-handed weapon. Now I do have several pictures which you'll see on screen. It could be a two-handed giant axe thing, okay, or we could have a two-handed giant mole, hammer, whatever you want. I want to hear from you guys what you would prefer this guy to have, but either way, he's going to have a massive fuck-off weapon, and he's going to be freaking huge. Now unlike most of the other Vikings, I want this guy to have a fair bit of armor, sort of like the Warlord. The other Vikings, they sort of don't have much armor going on, but this guy, I want him to be fairly covered. Now when it comes down to the Frostborn and how I want him to play, of course he is a heavy, so I want him to be able to trade blows with people and take a lot of damage. That sort of comes with being armored and being a big dude. But I want this guy to be a little bit more than just a massive punching bag who's also going to crush some heads in. I want this guy to have the ability to literally control space. He's a massive dude. I want him to just be able to sit up in an area and go, yeah, everything you see right here, this is mine. And when people move into his space, I want him to be able to pick them up and slam them on the ground, or I want him to have a look over there and go, that over there, that's now my space, and move into a place and control it. So how do I want him to be able to achieve this? So the special ability I want this guy to have is going to be a grab. Now we are not talking about the Shigoki's Demon Embrace. It's going to be more like the Highlanders thing, when he grabs the guy and throws him on the ground, except I want this to be a little bit better. So I want this grab to revolve around 2 options, okay? So the first one is he grabs the guy by the face. Let's say a Peacekeeper, for example. He grabs a Peacekeeper by the face, and I want him to have the ability to literally just pick someone up and just throw them. They'll go flying through the air a little bit, they'll slam on the ground, they'll take some damage and stamina damage, and then of course they get right back up. No cutscene bullshit. And then the second version I want is that he grabs someone by the face and he literally drags them across the ground. So think of it like the Raiders, shoulder charge thing, how he picks them up and carries them. It'll be like that. So he grabs them by the face, he runs forward, carrying them across the ground, gets to the end point. I want him to pick them up and just slam them into the ground. And of course you can also do a wall thing here, that if he gets to the wall, he grabs them by the face and slams them against the wall. They take a bunch of damage, and then of course they take stamina damage, and then they get up, or they're released or whatever. I think this would be really goddamn cool, because it would literally give him the ability to control an area. Like I said, he can sit down in a place, and if someone runs in, he can beat the shit out of them, and then if say 3 people come in, he can literally just grab one and just throw them away. He can grab another guy, run, and just slam him into a wall. Just be a big massive Viking guy in massive fuck off armor and just decimate people while doing what he wants of them. Because let's be honest, if one of these guys was coming at you on the battlefield and you're a Peacekeeper, what the fuck are you gonna do to stop him from picking you up? The answer is nothing. You basically just get to be his bitch for however long he wants you. I honestly reckon it'd be pretty goddamn fun to play. So that, my friends, is the Frostborn. Up next, we're gonna be talking about the Riva. So the Riva is going to be a Vanguard. And he's going to be wielding a axe and, of course, a sword or 2 swords, whatever you want. I'm open to, like, you know, the whole weaponry here, but he's going to be wielding 2 weapons of some description. But I do want them both to be sort of a little bit different. I prefer, like, you know, the axe and the sword. That sounds cool to me. Or even a mace. I really like maces. But this guy isn't going to be that armored, okay? He's going to be sort of armored, but not really. But the main focus of his gameplay is going to be around pressuring your enemy, okay? Forcing them to make mistakes so that way you can land hits. And of course, whenever anyone hears pressure, they start thinking of infinite combos, which this guy will have, I hope. So I want him to just be able to, like, you know, chain attacks and just overwhelm people and just keep going and going and going. And I have a special mechanic for this guy. Once again, keep balance completely out of this because this might be OP, might not be. It'd be tuned later, just saying. But the idea behind it is really goddamn cool, especially when we look at a Riva. So the thing I want for the Riva is every single time he lands a blow against the enemy, he gains a small damage boost up to a cap and it lasts for a period of time. So all balance aside, for example, say if he lands a hit, he gains, you know, 2 damage on his next attack, and then he lands another one, that's another 2 damage, and it just goes up, say, to a cap of 20. And it will last for, say, 30 seconds, 20 seconds, however long the cap can go up as well with the more, like, you know, hits you land. And I think that would be really goddamn cool because I want him to be the type of character who just goes from one fight to another, goes in, smashes some guy into the ground, and then just immediately runs towards the nearest enemy. Instead of, like, you know, trying to run away from people, he's not going to be the capture the zone type guy. He's going to be the who the fuck can I fuck up while my buff's up. And I just want to see him just go from one person to the next person to the next person and just keep chaining from person to person because he wants to keep that buff going. Nothing but pure war with this guy. Now, guys, before we move on to the next hero, one last thing I want to say about the Riva, because I know for a fact this is going to come up. People are going to say that the Riva just sounds like a copy of the Berserker. They did the same thing in the night video where they said that the Executioner was a copy of the Lawbringer. One, the Lawbringer's weapons are completely different to the Executioner's one, especially what I showed. The armor is different as well. The Lawbringer wields a pole axe, which is sort of like this versatile weapon with like a mini axe head on the top sort of thing, whereas the Executioner would have a really fucking big, massive axe that can literally cut someone in half if he has enough strength with it. So those weapons are very different, and of course the armor that I proposed was different as well. And when it comes down to it, the aesthetic of the character is what makes the character different. That, and of course the weapon and the moveset. The moveset is a very, very big one. This is just character concepts that you could put in. So yes, they all sound sort of the same if you compare them to characters already in the game, because we don't have their movesets. Technically, there is little to no difference if you just take the Warden and the Kensei. They're both just people in armor with swords. They literally just have different types of swords. Because if you go by that logic, technically the Aramusha and the Berserker are pretty much the exact same character as well, because they both have a weapon in each hand and they both work off infinite combos. So please keep that in mind as well. The actual character's aesthetics, so what they look like, the weapon they're wielding, and of course their moveset is what's going to make these characters different. These are just the base level theory sort of thing on what I would like to see, and then of course the movesets is what would make them different from existing heroes we have in the game already. So yes, the Riva does sound a lot like the Berserker in terms of, like, you know, pressuring your opponent and infinite combos and stuff, but they are very different in terms of, you know, the extra perk. I just wanted to add this little bit in before we move on, just because I know for a fact there's going to be a bunch of comments down below saying that the Riva is pretty much just a copy paste of the Berserker, which it isn't true. Even if you just look at the aesthetics and of course the gameplay, they're very different. So that is the Riva, and now moving on to the very last one, and that is the Lone Wolf. Now I have to say, out of half the shit that I came up with when I made this entire list, this has to be one of my favorite, and I really fucking like the aesthetic and just the general gameplay that I came up with this guy. So this is like my baby, please don't knock it. So the Lone Wolf is going to be an assassin. Yes, I know people hate assassins, but he's going to be an assassin. And the main focus of his gameplay is going to be about awareness and picking his fights and his targets. Now weapon-wise, he's going to be wielding 2 daggers, okay? It's going to be either 2 elongated daggers, short swords, something along those lines, just something nice and quick where you can get in, shank some fucking kidneys, and then run away type thing. Now, when it comes to his actual gameplay, I want him to be really goddamn quick in the way that he moves, okay? So I want him to move fast and be able to get in and out and, you know, position himself really well, but I don't want him to be just another freaking light attack spam bot type guy. So I want him to be fast. I want his attacks to be semi-fast, but not like, you know, light spammy. And I want him to be that sort of character that circles around the fight and picks when he wants to jump in. And of course, I have a nice perk for him. Balance and everything aside, I fucking love the idea of this. So I call this thing the pack. Now, everyone knows wolves work a lot better in a pack, and of course they're stronger when they're together. Now the way that the pack will work is he will get a damage boost for every ally that joins the fight with him. So if he's fighting someone, okay, and another ally runs in and starts fighting the same guy, he will get a damage boost. And then if another one comes in, he'll get another damage boost, and it will just keep stacking until all his teammates are there. Now, I already know some people are talking about balance-wise. How's he going to be balanced if there's like, you know, 1v1, if you're playing duel or something, or 2v2, where you don't have the ability to have all three allies there? Of course, like I said, all that shit can be tuned later. The general idea, though, is pretty damn cool. So that way, if you're playing a Dominion match, okay, and there's a fight, there's 2v2, and you jump in, not only are you going to be able to position yourself really well because you're really goddamn quick, but at the same time, you're going to be getting a damage boost because of those two allies there. But at the same time, your allies have to work with you, and you have to be aware of what's going on, because if your allies leave, your damage is going to get nerfed a little bit because they're not there anymore, and then if you're outnumbered, you're going to get fucked. So the whole point of the Lone Wolf is going to be picking your targets, okay, knowing when to fight and when to run, and of course, being aware of what the hell's going on. Because although you're going to be quick, you're not going to be able to take a whole bunch of damage. And of course, when it comes to the aesthetic of the guy, just having like, you know, the wolf pelt thing on top of your head, and just having all the leathers and all the furs and everything, plus the two daggers, I reckon it could look really goddamn fucking cool. I had this idea in my head. I managed to find all these pictures that perfectly just like, you know, fit exactly what I was feeling and thinking when I thought of this character. I just really want to play this guy. I want him in the game. Please, Ubisoft, help a brother out. But that is it for the video, guys. So that was the Frostborn, the Riva, and the Lone Wolf. If they honestly put any of those heroes into the game, I would struggle not to fucking faction change over to the Vikings, because all three of them would just be goddamn fun as fuck to play. But that is the end of the video, so thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and let me know your thoughts. Out of the three heroes that I listed just then, which one is your favorite? Do you like all of them? Do you not like any of them? Let me know in the comments down below. I really want to hear from you guys. And of course, if you have any ideas for any new Viking heroes that you want to see coming to the game in Year 2 of For Honor, let me know in the comments down below as well. I can't wait to read what you guys come up with. And if you liked the video and you like what I'm doing here on the channel and you want to support the channel further, feel free to support me on Patreon. There'll be a link down below in the description box, and of course there will be a link at the end of this video you can click on. And if you do end up donating, it is much appreciated. You have no idea. And please share this video around. It does help me out a fuck ton. And if you want to see more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button. I shall see you on the next video. Have a good one, guys.